there are many of our people who are thinking more deeply and more broadly, looking at it as it actually is, and are beginning to see it more in the international context and the relation that it has with the African struggle, a human rights struggle, or the struggle for human rights. And as such, we can then take it into the United Nations.
And bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
Peace, everyone. Welcome to We Charge Colonialism. If you're wondering who we are, we're an organization of people who are of African descent that are charging imperialist powers, colonial powers of the crime of colonialism. In this case, we're going to discuss the colonialism that is being done against our people inside of Haiti by the United States government. If you don't know, the United States has a very, very long and extensive history, really, of going beyond its borders to exercise dominion of people who are supposed to be sovereign and people who are supposed to have the right to determine their own futures. But because of the imperialist impact of this country, people who are in other countries essentially are beholden to the interest of the Western imperialists. In this case, Haiti is the victim who is being suffered and has suffered for a long time. And we're standing in solidarity with the people of Haiti who have suffered under this colonial system. Now, I'm going to read from a statement by WCC. This is available on our website. I encourage you to read the entire statement. It is inside of the comment down below. But I am going to read a segment of this to give you a better picture of the history of what has gone on inside of Haiti. This was written by our brother Ikemba in WCC. He says, currently, Haiti is in a volatile social, economic, and political crisis. Recent protests is part of the long ongoing struggle to oust corrupt neo-colonial president Jovenel Moïse. 4 years of corruption under Moïse have left many Haitians discontented. The demand for Moïse to step down has given rise to the Free Haiti movement. The hashtag Free Haiti is trending on social media to raise awareness of Haiti's current crisis. I'm sure many of you have seen a lot of the depictions of what's going on of our people in Haiti, a lot of the cries of the people who are saying no more. We're done with this imperialist puppet being our leader. We want a person who's going to represent us and put our interests ahead of the interests of outsiders. This is something that Haiti has been very strong about historically, of course, we know, because Haiti was the first country during the enslavement period that had actually abolished slavery, had gotten rid of their colonists, had exercised dominion and sovereignty for only a brief time, though, because we know that the United States had been plotting on them and ensuring that this demonstration of freedom was not going to extend, particularly into its borders and other places where it has influence. But Haiti is a country that has fought against these types of battles for a long time. And so let's talk about some of the history some more. To understand the problem with Haiti, one must understand the history of Haiti. Haiti's history is rife with political corruption. Since independence, Haiti's 200-year history has seen numerous political assassinations and coups d'etat. Haiti did not see a democratically elected head of state until 1991. This was short-lived due to a 1991 military coup. After regaining his office, Haiti's first democratically elected president, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, was forced out of office in 2004 by a United States-supported paramilitary group. Now, the history of imperialism in Haiti, like many governments of Africa, is plagued by neocolonialism. Neocolonialism allows foreign nations to exploit the local communities under the guise of independence. Haiti has never experienced independence because of foreign domination and influence over the country. The problems that Haiti faces today are a part of the historical process of colonial dominion. For Haiti to be free, they will need a revolution led by the Haitian working class. This will be the completion of the Black Revolution of 1791. A completion of this, when you see the people who have been the most exploited, the people who occupy the largest segment of the economy, yet those who receive the least of the benefits actually rise up and take control of a country that, again, is supposed to be a country that is sovereign, supposed to actually supposed to actually represent the people's interests. That is what we're looking for the Haitian people, not what exists today, not these neo-colonial puppets, not these people who the Biden administration thinks that they have the right to say is the legitimate leader of Haiti, not these people who meet with companies that have their hands inside of the pockets of the Haitian treasury, not with those people. We want people inside of African countries who are actually going to be beholden to the people. This is something that's obviously always going to be seen as a threat to the imperialists who live off of our misery, but we are seriously going to keep fighting and standing in solidarity wherever our people are and whenever they call for similar types of demonstrations against the power structure. So let's read on. The revolution that began in 1791 has become a dream deferred. Despite independence, imperialism and colonialism continues to affect Haiti's economy. Since 1804, colonial domination has been exacerbated by political corruption, neoliberal economic policies, odious debts, despotic regimes, and the overthrow of democratic governments. Today, Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere with a gross domestic product per capita of $797 and a Human Development Index ranking of 169 out of 189 countries. Very horrible. It says, today, many Haitians live below the poverty line. It says that they make $2.41 a day, and more than 2.5 million fell below the extreme poverty line. That was $1.12 per day. Let that resonate for you. Some of us can't see living off of $1.12 for an hour. Imagine that's being the only thing that you take home to your family for an entire day. Recurrent episodes of institutional and political instability have hindered Haiti's economic and social development, and economic growth is expected to decline under the current administration, which the Biden administration has said is the right leader for Haiti. Centuries of genocide, exploitation, and colonialism have left the future of Haiti in a precarious state. The current corrupt political regime in Haiti continues to align themselves with the imperialist U.S. government. The people of Haiti are being crushed by the weight of foreign imperialism and internal corruption. The only recourse is revolution. Free Haiti and power to the Haitian working class. So this is a beautiful article, again, written by our brother Ikemba. Just to give some closing thoughts on this situation, I encourage people to remember that Haiti is a country that is dear to African liberation. And because it's there to African liberation, it just might be that Haiti is going to be the one to finally be the first African country to rid itself of neocolonialism. I could absolutely see that being the case. I could see the fight in Haiti being one that spreads throughout the Caribbean and throughout Latin America and throughout Africa. I could see that because so many of the dynamics that exist for our people wherever we are, those same dynamics are very present in Haiti, and the clear oppressor who is not even so much behind the scenes. We know the role that Haiti has had in Africa. That the United States has had in Haiti. We know the role that the French government has had in Haiti. We know the role that so many people have played in undermining just a people's freedom. Imagine a country that it would cost nothing to allow these people to live free and to exercise dominion over their own territory. But these greedy imperialists still feel the need to come into their jurisdictions and ensure that their dominion is the dominion that is going to be legitimized. That is the corrupt and pervasive aspect of capitalism, of colonialism, and as one has destroyed many African communities. So we say again, free Haiti. We say again, we stand with Haiti, and we believe and trust that the people on the ground, the people who are there, the people who are struggling for their freedom and independence, will not just rid themselves of this imperialist impact, but also have an impact on us, our people globally. We believe that our freedom is very much connected to the freedom of the Haitian government, and that through your fight, we will all benefit. So that's all I have on this. Please share the story of what's going on in Haiti. Please show support. There's so many people who are speaking out, and these things are things that we should not let go by idly, but we should all participate. Don't feel like you're jumping on a bandwagon, because as you've seen from this article I just read, the people of Haiti are facing a dire circumstance. The people of Haiti are facing a very vicious and very unrelenting enemy. And as we know, it happens to be the most powerful country in the entire world. So that's all I have. I will see you all in the next video.